Kate Milifalcha, welcome to Irish Granny Helen. You will notice that I am all alone. It's very sad. Nate somehow seems to feel that he can just take a vacation. So we're by ourselves. And I thought of not doing this. And then I thought, oh, but it's fun. And I will attempt to at least tell you some funny stories if it won't be as much fun as when Nate is here. I thought we all really need to have our spirits lifted in some way. So we'll start out with probably the least amusing, but to me, as somebody who's Irish, this cracked me up. Last night, I was talking to one of my daughters, and my granddaughter is in an Irish dance academy. She's learning Irish dancing. And they got free tickets through their academy to go see river dance. And, you know, river dance is not entirely authentic Irish dancing. It's, for what it is, it's remarkable. I mean, their dancing is absolutely breathtaking. Not completely, you know, it's like anything else that's ethnic. It kind of changes with time, right? So it was a good show, but she said there were moments when she and her 8-year-old daughter were sharing kind of a, because it was a little hokey. The wigs, those are something else, you know. But anyway, they saw the show, and we were laughing, talking about, you know, the whole river dance oeuvre. And lo and behold, I start looking for stories this morning, and what do I find? River dance guy, the guy who started it all, Michael Flatley, is running for the presidency of Ireland. Cracked me up. Totally hilarious. Perhaps we'll look a little deeper into that. Why don't I write that down in my current events, which I will do next. So I thought that was worth at least mentioning. Here, we're going to do a little closer look. I have to write it down. If I don't write it down, I'll never remember it. But then we have closer to home. We have something to laugh about. Now, this is not entirely schadenfreude. I'm not entirely taking pleasure in somebody else's misfortune. I'm actually marveling at this guy's worldview. So you'll see what I mean here in a second. So I'm not celebrating the fact that George Santos just started, I can't even say this with a straight line, you know, face, just started his 7-year sentence for fraud. And we all know he's no saint. We all know that he lies at the drop of a hat, that he's a fabulist, that he has claimed any number of outrageous things about himself in his life. I should have written some down just to refresh our memories, but I actually didn't think of it. So I was so taken aback by his statement going into prison. He threw himself a party because, of course, he did. And this is what he said on social media before he left. Well, darlings, the curtain falls, the spotlight dims, and the rhinestones are packed. From the halls of Congress to the chaos of cable news, what a ride it has been. Was it messy? Always. Glamorous? Occasionally. Honest? I tried most days. So I think he's where he belongs. Now I have a story that is just not to be believed. And I was going to write a brief description, but the details are so delicious that I'm reading part of it off my phone, which I don't really like to do. And I hope I don't mess things up. It has the annoying habit of interrupting your reading with ads. So it's not me, it's the phone. Or as my mother used to say, a poor workman blames his tools. Okay. We're going to talk about the City Academy Voices Choir in England. Where are we in England here? Fulham. And they were finishing the song "I'm Gonna Make You Love Me" by the Supremes, when suddenly in the hall the lights went out, and a man appeared on the stage in a blue dressing gown that's like a robe, you know, with no shoes. And he grabbed the mic and he said that the singing is a terrible racket, and he told them to get out, leaving the 360 odd people in the room shocked and dumbfounded. Then he said, oh, see now, stupid ad just interrupted. It just makes me crazy. Does anybody want to buy a Nespresso machine? Okay, then he said, you are in my house. Can you leave it now, please? This man, it appears, was Jonathan Baker, the Bishop of Fulham, in a video posted on social media. So there may be a way to see this yourself still. The bishop can be seen telling the choir it's past 10 p.m. and calls for the night to be over. It was so bizarre, said Lee, where did it go? It moved again. Lee Stanford Thompson, the choir director, said, I've never experienced anything like it. By chance, this was Thompson, the choir director, his final concert directing the choir. And the night was designed as a celebration of their time together. And he said a lot of people thought it was a weird thing that I organized, you know, kind of a funny ha-ha at the end of it all. Like a parting thing, but I knew exactly what was happening. So apparently this bishop must have a reputation. That was actually the initial thinking of the choir members. She says, at first I thought it was a comedy act or some actor doing a scene, but when we realized, oh no, this isn't an act, it's real, but it was a bit surreal. The choir was nearing the end of their special summer concert on Friday, which took place at St. Andrew's Church in Holborn, London. So Fulham must be like an area of London. The choir had booked the venue, which is available to hire, and used it previously with no issue. So that's interesting. It's some kind of a hall, but he sleeps there. I wonder if it's kind of like attached to a rectory, like a parish hall. Describing the sequence of events, the choir member said, we were singing away. This was our penultimate song. Then we were going to do one final number and get everybody out the aisles dancing. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, this keeps hopping around because they're determined I buy an Nespresso machine. The lights went out, and first I thought it may have been a power cut, but then the instruments were still playing. We were picking back up to sing when all of a sudden everything went quiet, and I could see this guy in what looked like a dressing gown talking to the audience on the mic. After Baker's onstage interruption, a church employee took the mic and apologized, but told everyone they needed to leave because this is a residential home. I must ask you to leave quietly. Thank you for your attendance, said the church worker before addressing the choir. Would you leave the stage? She said. The choir member said there were boos and everything. It was just really disappointing. At the end of these concerts, we always end on a real high and everyone goes home full of joy, but this dampened things. His comment about the racket being produced did not sit well. I think we produce a beautiful sound, said a choir member. If he just waited for 5 minutes, we would have been done and out. But because of what happened, there were lots of booings and shoutings, and then people were applauding the choir. The final song was going to be a fully staged rendition of ABBA's Dancing Queen. As outrage bubbled up, the choir began performing an a cappella version on stage and finished on their way out to a loud, rapturous reception. Everybody was clapping as we were making our way out. All of that took far longer than if he just allowed the concert to end at the right time. Thompson, the director, said that the impromptu ending was really lovely and quite moving. We all went out to the pub afterwards and took it all in. I bet that wasn't the only thing they took in. Everyone was in astonishment, really. I do find it funny. I'm not particularly upset. We had a really good concert, but I think it's a shame we didn't get a chance to finish. Looking back, what a way to go out. A Diocese of London spokesperson said Bishop Jonathan reached out to the organizers on Saturday to apologize for his late night appearance at the concert, which he now understands had overrun due to earlier technical difficulties. So I guess what we're seeing here is it was delayed to start and it ran a bit late as a result, and he was a stickler for, you know, maintaining the time frame because it was his bedtime. I just thought that was hilarious. And I wonder if there will be repercussions to the bishop. I don't know. Can you be de-bishoped? I don't know. Well, I hope that gives you a little bit to laugh about as we all mourn the absence of our friend Nate, who will return. He will be back, and we'll be doing something together soon. And in the meantime, please sign up, subscribe, become a member, check out my Substack, Ask Your Irish Granny. Send me your problems and I'll give you advice. There's nothing I like better. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Slán go fóill. Slán.